Hey guys, Marisa here, and I want to take several minutes to show you some of our chapter books that I love. I absolutely love our chapter books, and I read all of them. So the very first ones that I want to show you are Hey Jack and Billy B. Brown. These books are designed for, these are series by the way, there are 15 books in each of the series, and these books are designed for kids who are done with readers. But chapter books, they go into the chapter book room at the library and like 80% of the books are still too hard for them. These books are designed for those kids to be bridge books between readers and chapter books. So as you can see, there's nice big font, lots of white space, illustration between, lots of illustrations on the pages. And then the other big thing is that there are no sentences that carry over from one page to another. Sentences always end on the page because that's a carryover from readers. Olga de Polga, I love this book, and this book makes such a great read aloud as well with a younger child or even an older child that still likes being read to. The illustrations are just adorable. Olga is a guinea pig. She's a pet. And there are humans in the story, but really the animals are her and all of her animal friends are the star of this book, and she likes to tell stories. She makes up really fantastic stories. Absolutely beautiful. Olga is such an adorable character. The Jack Russell books are super popular. So this is Jack Russell. It's both his breed and his name. And he doesn't talk to humans. He only talks to other animals, and he likes to solve mysteries. So in these books, he goes around and he solves little mysteries, and there are great illustrations throughout. This is his nose map of his neighborhood. Lots of things like that. Very cute. Wheel Nuts. So these books are so visual that when I saw them for the first time when they came out at our convention a few years ago, I came home convinced that they were graphic novels because they're so visual. The illustrations are just integral to the stories. These are great. They're silly. They're about this extreme race that happens that's put on by a billionaire, and lots of gross out moments in them, and just really silly and funny. If you have someone that likes Captain Underpants, these books are probably a good choice for them. EJ-12, I love this series. So EJ-12 is a secret agent, and she's in the under 12 division of this agency. And when she's 10 years old, and when she's not in her in a mission, she's a normal girl, and she has normal girl problems. She's got problems with the mean girl at school, and she's worried about what's going to happen to the sleepover this weekend and all sorts of things like that. But when she's EJ-12, she can do anything. So the way that these books work is that whatever her mission is for that story, it's helping her overcome some central problem or issue that she's going through in her real life. So she tackles her real life problems through her alter ego. They're really, really cool. Fairy Ponies, my daughter loves these books. It's about a girl who goes to stay with her grandmother for the summer, and she finds fairy ponies that are little tiny with wings, and they're fairies, and she becomes friends with them, and she gets the power to go into their world. And they're really well written. Actually, the vocabulary in them and the sentence structure was just really beautiful and flowing. I love these books. Operation Robot Storm. These books are part graphic novel, part prose. So they alternate between prose and graphic novel in the story. And these are about a secret division of the British military that's made up of Yetis. So they're really funny and entertaining too. Okay, so Minas Quest. This book I love so much. It's about a girl who finds a horse that's like hours old, and he's been left on the beach, and she lives in ancient Britain, so it's Roman occupied Britain. And she rescues the pony, and they develop this really special relationship. And there's a Roman captain in her town that she grew up with, and she's really good friends with, and she has this crush on him, but they could never be together because there's a caste system and yada yada yada. So there's a romance element to it, but it never gets out of hand because they can't be together. And she's a really strong, really great role model. So I love these books. There's 3 of these. It's a trilogy. Conspiracy 365 is probably our most popular high interest, it's high interest, low level reading, I guess. It's very high interest. It grabs you right away. The setup is that Cal is playing basketball outside his house on either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I can't remember which one. And his father has just died from a mysterious illness. And he's playing basketball, and this guy stumbles up to him. He's clearly ill. Something is wrong with him. And he says, your father didn't die. He was killed, and they'll get you too. You have 365 days. So he has a year to figure out what happened to his dad and to save his family. And each month is a book. So there are 12 books in the series. And then there are actually a couple of spin-off series too, if your kids love that. This is The Debt. It's a 6-book series. It's very unique. It's about a kid who is not the typical protagonist. The typical protagonist in teen books is usually the underdog. But this kid has everything. He comes from a really wealthy family, and he's like a middle distance track running star, and he's got everything going for him. And then on his 15th or 16th birthday, his dad pulls him into a room, and he says, we have this generations old debt to an organization that's like the mafia, but not as nice. And every first male in the generation has to repay 6 favors to this organization, or they literally lose a pound of flesh. And at first he thinks it's nonsense, but then he looks over at his grandfather, who's missing his leg from the knee down, and he says, maybe you weren't attacked by a shark. Maybe you didn't repay your debt. So there are 6 books in the series, and each book is him repaying a debt. The last 13 is really cool. It's about a group of kids that are dream walkers. They can control reality with their dreams, and they have to save the world, of course, because these are all like apocalyptic type books, right? So this book actually goes in reverse, 13 to 1, because they're finding the dream walkers. So they find the first one in this, so they're looking for 13, and then they're looking for 12. So if you buy this, it starts with 13, not 1. And I love this series. I love this book. It's really great, really engaging. And then this is another one. It was probably my favorite until last 13 came out. This is Phoenix Files, and it's about a kid who his parents have just gotten divorced, and he's afraid he's never going to see his dad again. And then his mom moves him to this town that only the people work at this organization that she just got a job with live in. And he gets there, and he starts to think that things are kind of out of whack. And of course, he uncovers a plot to destroy the world and repopulate it with the members of this corporation. So him and his friends have to save the world. And then there's another series by this author that just came out called The Gateway that I actually haven't read yet, but it's fantastic. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's about a hotel that's a gateway between other worlds and our world. And there's aliens and stuff in it. It sounds really cool. I can't wait to read it. All right, so, and we have a couple of new books that I meant to grab before I came out, and I forgot to get them. So I'll quickly just tell you that there's a mystery series that the first one is The Case of the Jeweled Sparrow, I think is what it's called. I'll look that up and put it in the comments. And that's a mystery series set in Victorian England, so that's really fun. And it's from the perspective of a girl who was very wealthy and then lost everything with the death of her father, and she became a shop girl, and she becomes the protagonist of the story. It's very cool. Oh, and then there's another series that's for elementary age called The Secret Mermaid that I forgot to grab. That is about a girl who can turn into a mermaid at night when she goes to sleep, when she's wearing a special necklace. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask me. I love helping people find the perfect books for them, and Reader's Advisory is my favorite part of this job. So if you like this series or this video and you want to be kept up to date with all of our new releases, please like me on YouTube or like my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/booksbymarisa. And these and all of our amazing nearly 2,000 titles can be found at my website, www.booksbymarisa.com. Thanks so much. Have a great day.